Alright, so in today's video, we're going to talk about the Mets and maybe that they're wasting Jacob Degrom's career, and I'm going to say why I think they really are in today's video, and maybe why they aren't in today's video. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do in today's video, but before I get into this video, 70% of you that watch these videos and not subscribe, get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. Subscribe, turn notifications, and leave a like, and let's go ahead and get into this video. So, with the Mets, so far, a 2-3 start here, which is not great for what we were expecting from the Mets. They had 3 upcoming games versus the Phillies so far. But for the Mets, their hitting has been lost. Like, their hitting just looks lost. When Jacob Degrom has your best batting average on the team, you know something's going wrong. And he's got 5 at-bats, too. So, you know something's going wrong there. But besides that, I mean, Lindor has looked lost at the plate. 176 batting average with 0 home runs and 1 RBI. Now, we do know that Lindor will give. He's a very good defensive player, so he will give something defensively, even if he's not doing particularly well offensively. Pete Alonso has not been too good. 211 batting average, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Jeff McNeil has looked absolutely lost. I don't know what is wrong with him. He's got an 077 batting average, 1 home run, and 1 RBI. If you didn't know baseball, you would probably think that he is a pitcher because that's a pitching batting average there. But like 143 average for Michael Conforto with 0 home runs and 3 RBIs. I mean, Dominic Smith has been okay, 267 batting average, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. I still wouldn't consider that very good at all, if I'm being honest. J.D. Davis has been okay. Brendan Nemo's been okay, but their hitting looks absolutely lost. I don't know what is wrong with their hitting, but like it's just not good. Now, we did know that the starting pitcher coming into the season would probably be the strong suit for this team, but we didn't expect the hitting to be this weak. For Jacob Degrom, I mean, he's had a 0.64 ERA this season with in 2 games started in 14 innings and a 0.71 WHIP. So he's been great this season. And the Mets really had, besides that 2015 World Series run, have really not done a ton of winning besides that. Now, I point more of this towards the manager here. Now, I'm not necessarily a person that believes in blaming everything on the manager because I don't really think that's right. But I do think that there's a certain point here, and I don't think that Luis Rojas is necessarily the best manager for this team. I think he would be the best. He would be a better manager for a young team. But there's not a ton of great options that have experience on the open market. Bruce Bochy's not coming back, who has a ton of experience. But Showalter, no. You do not want him. So there's not a lot of very good options at all that could come back unless you're talking about a player coming back. And Luis Rojas, I think, definitely could have used something. I don't know if he had experience in the minor leagues. Let me look. I'm not necessarily saying fire Luis Rojas here, but they had a 26-34 record last year, finishing at 5th place in the NL East here. They had a pretty solid roster last year. It wasn't like they had a terrible roster last year. They had a pretty decent roster that could win some games, a lot more than that. So I don't particularly like Luis Rojas. I'm not saying that he should be fired immediately, but I'm simply saying that I'm not the biggest fan of Luis Rojas, and maybe I don't think a midseason firing is going to be any good because I do think it's going to take a little bit of time for this team to do well, considering there were so many moving pieces this offseason. I mean, you had Francisco Lindor, James McCann, Miguel Castro, who's been good so far. You've got so many moving pieces this offseason. And Marcus Stroman re-signed, Taekwon Walker. Like, there just is so many moving pieces that I think it's going to kind of be it's going to be a little tough just straight off to get all this work. Taekwon Walker had a very impressive first start. Marcus Stroman's been very good. Obviously, he didn't get to pitch the other day because of a rainout. Miguel Castro has been pretty solid. He's kind of been the most reliable relief pitcher considering that Juris Familia, Trevor May, Dylan Betances, Jacob Barnes, Edwin Diaz all have been really terrible, if we're being honest. But overall, this Mets team just cannot hit the baseball right now. It's very simple. They cannot hit the baseball for their lives right now. And they're on a 1-game losing streak right now. They're only 2 games back in the NL East, which is not a big deal there. But they're 2-3 right now. Are they wasting Jacob Degrom's career? Now, Jacob Degrom is the best pitcher in baseball, in my opinion. A lot of people are saying he's a top 5 player in baseball. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, just for the simple reason that I don't really believe a pitcher that pitches every 5 days should be in that top 10, if I'm being honest. But let's go ahead and look at his stats here. Because Jacob Degrom is so good, though. Like, he's the best pitcher in baseball by a pretty good margin. In my opinion, I don't think it's too close, actually. So, yeah, he could. I mean, like, he's the best hitter on their team and the best pitcher on their team, which is pretty sad right now. So in 2020, he had 4.2 record with a 2.38 ERA. But a lot of people are getting frustrated with the fact that the Mets just get no run support for Jacob Degrom in his starts, and I'm totally frustrated with that as well. I'm sick of seeing the best pitcher in baseball by far getting no run support at all. Like, he gets terrible run support every time he pitches. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, 1 or 2 runs every time. Like, he hasn't won a game this season. Like, he has an 0.64 ERA and has lost a game. It has lost a game. Yeah. That tells you how much of a lack of run support he's getting. 2019, 11-8, 2.43 ERA. 2018, 10-9 with a 1.70 ERA. He's won back-to-back, or he won back-to-back Cy Youngs. Like, the Mets just cannot get run support. I don't know what their problem is. Like, when Jacob Degrom goes out there, they just cannot hit for their lives at all. And the Mets are in a definite win-now scenario. It's not like there's no sugarcoating that. They're in a win-now scenario. And like I've said, it's going to take some time for all these players to get in the new system. But at the end of the day, there could be some overreacting, and Luis Rojas could be fired because it really does go down to the manager. A lot of people are going to blame it on the manager, and yeah, I mean, they're going to blame it on the manager, and that's not necessarily always right. But I think in this case, Luis Rojas could be maybe a little bit of it, considering he was just a development coach or some kind of coach. I think he was like a strength and conditioning coach or something. And he now is a manager. I don't really think that's the best hiring in the world. But now we've got to make the case for why maybe they're not wasting Jacob Degrom's career. Now, I can't really make too much of a case for this, but simply, I don't know. Now, you could say, well, they're a winning team. For one, so he's on a winner. It's a loser, like he could be on the Pirates or whatever. You could also say that it's going to take some time for the Mets, and you can agree with that. But yeah, I mean, I think Mets fans are expecting this team to be like a 10-0 team instantly, and I think they get their hopes up like a little too much here, just for the simple. Like, I'm not trashing Mets fans. I'm just saying that simply, I think that maybe you need to hold the brakes on these first games and maybe see how they are after this Philly series, because I think this other Philly series is good if you can win this series, and that would be big for this Mets team. So yeah, the Mets right now just cannot hit a baseball, cannot get run support for their starting pitchers that have pitched very well so far, like Jacob Degrom, Marcus Stroman, Taekwon Walker. But overall, this Mets team is still a very good team, and if they can put it all together, they're going to be a very good team. I don't think they're still. I don't think that they're still in that LOL Mets every time thing, but I still think that it is going to take a little bit of time for them to. A little bit of time for them. So yeah, I think that the Mets. I think that all the signs prove that they're wasting Jacob Degrom's career. Is that true? I mean, you could make your opinions. I think that though they are kind of wasting Jacob Degrom's career because like he's had so many good years and he just can't get run support. Like you saw it in 2019, 2018, and now in 2021 and 2020 as well. Like he just gets no run support, and it kind of gets old that he never gets run support. And yeah. So yeah, like if he could get 3 runs, then they would be fine because Jacob Degrom doesn't usually give up like 3 runs. Like 3 runs is a bad start for him, honestly. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications. Because like I said, 70% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So get your life together, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications, and leave a like on this video. Thank you for watching, and peace.